There's one specific characteristic. I think more than anything, my understanding is an entrepreneur is somebody that sees something that others don't see, and they can translate that into action. So they kind of make something out of nothing. And in order to make something out of nothing, you've got to have your psyche is quite important. So you've got to be resilient, you've got to be self-confident, you've got to be driven, you've got to be very focused, you've got to be, there's a whole host of things that would include inquisitiveness.
Yes.
And it's a kind of a mixture of all of those things. And if those are not in place, nobody's going to take a risk, because entrepreneurs are prepared to take a risk. And the risks that they run are quite substantial, because they're risking their own futures in terms of a loss of income, a loss of capital, a loss of time, because if they make some mistakes, it's going to take them a long time to catch up, and I suppose a loss of reputation. So you've got to have a pretty strong, resilient ego and self-belief and an understanding about your strengths and weaknesses to go and make this happen, because if you don't, you're going to come quite short.
Wow. You've just described your Superman over there.
Yeah.
Anyway, final question. The National Planning Commission and the National Development Plan puts a lot of emphasis on entrepreneurship. Indeed, one of the themes of this conference is stimulating entrepreneurship, and it's called the International Entrepreneurship and Investment Conference. Do you think there's undue pressure that's been put on entrepreneurs to deliver those jobs? Because basically they're saying that that's where the jobs are going to come from in the future.
No, I think that possibly even the opposite. When I started my businesses way back in the 80s, there was absolutely no support whatsoever for entrepreneurs. And what I see now, specifically in KwaZulu-Natal, is a whole host of support structures which are sort of mobilized in a coordinated fashion to kind of make things happen. So, in a sense, the help that one needs as an entrepreneur is pretty much there. And I think it's probably, if anything, becoming easier, as it should. In other words, the authorities are doing the things they should to make it kind of easier for an entrepreneur to go out and make things happen. So I don't think there's undue advantage or disadvantage. I think the time is probably as right as it's ever been to actually go out and do it. It's pretty exciting. I wish I was a lot younger, because I think the opportunities are just all over the place.